Hey everybody, Unstable Gamer here, and welcome back to another Disney Sorcerers Arena video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the newest, a brand new Toy Story event, and 3 new characters that have entered the game, and they're a little bit different, and we're going to go over what that is specifically. So there's a lot to go over here, so we're going to go ahead and start that right now. But first, before we do, if you're just now finding this channel and you want to stay up to date with this and other games, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out. All right, and welcome back. So we have a brand new event here. Let's go ahead and just claim these. I haven't even jumped into the game yet, but let's go ahead and take a look at this. So we have this Sunnyside Playtime event. 3 new characters to the game, Toy Story villains, and they're pretty interesting. I think they've got some cool mechanics, but there's something very, very different about these characters, and we're going to go over that here in just a second. But let's go ahead, jump into the event here and see what it's all about. So these are all villains. You need villains, right? For every single one of them, the category is going to be villains. For the first one, it could be anybody. Second one, you need to unlock Chunk, which is pretty easy. He's a 25-piece unlock. You can get that through farming. I think if they're still doing the bonus pieces, that's kind of where I focused most of my farming to unlock Chunk. This is one team that I am not going all out for, and it's because of the difference in this team that I don't think it's one that I have to have right now. All right, so we need Chunk for all the rest of these, with him at different levels, all the way up to a 7-star with a gear tier or an enchantment tier of 6 in order to complete that out. And then we have this second one where what's required is at least Chunk and a villain team. And then for that second one, you need Chunk and Big Baby. And Big Baby, I gotta tell you, he's a little bit freaky. He's weird. I mean, don't you think? I mean, let's, just kind of take a look at him. He creeps me out. Whenever they do things with like baby dolls and things like that, it just creeps me out a little bit. All right, so for this event, pretty straightforward. Same event format that we've seen in the past. Pretty easily done. You're going to go through these. You're going to go through these different battles. You're going to farm the pieces that you can out of there until it says complete. And then you're going to move on to the next one as long as you have the characters that you need for that. All right, so I did unlock Chunk. I got him at a 2-star, and he's got a pretty fun kit. So let's go ahead and take a look at each one of them individually. Jumping into Chunk first. So he is a downtown villain. When we take a look at what he's for, he's defense, so he's your tank. And his abilities here. So check this one out. So you're going to deal some damage to the target opponent. If the character is affected by haste, 65% chance to inflict offense down for 1 turn. If this character is affected by defense up, 65% chance to convert 1 random helpful effect to a harmful effect. So it's going to swap to the opposite, right? And then if you go ahead and max this out, you're going to do 50% additional damage. So that's his basic. Go on to a special here. You're going to deal some damage to your target opponent and adjacent opponents. So you're going to get some of that splash damage. So you're going to want to strategize who you're going to attack. Now, if there's a taunt up, obviously you're not going to have much of an option there. You're going to extend duration of 2 random harmful effects by 1 on each affected opponent. So that's nice as well because you've got let's just talk about the continuous damage team. This right here seems to be kind of more of a fear type team that goes well with Jack Skellington and Sally as well. But you're going to be able to extend those harmful effects and really take advantage of that. And then maxing that out is going to do some additional damage. Passive here, on start, you have a 45% chance to remove 1 random harmful effect from this character. And then on start of turn, if this character is not affected by haste or taunt, perform the following. We're going to gain taunt for 1 turn. We're going to inflict fear for 1 turn. And that's kind of a common theme that you're going to see with this new team is fear. And with Big Baby on the team, yes, that's very fearful. On start, if this character has haste, okay, so interrupt haste and gain defense up for 1 turn, gain taunt for 1 turn, inflict fear. On start of turn, if this character has taunt, perform the following. So look at all these different options. It's very, very cool depending on what this character has on him. When I first read through this, it was kind of interesting, but so on start of turn, if this character is not affected, so you don't have haste, you don't have taunt, you're going to gain taunt for 1 turn, and you're going to inflict that fear for 1 turn. And then when you have that taunt, you're going to interrupt the taunt and gain haste, which for the following turn. And then for the next turn, you're going to interrupt haste and you're getting defense up. Very interesting kit here. It's very cyclical, and then once that's done, then you're going to start that all over with your taunt, and then you're going to go through that again. So that is very cool. At level 2, you have a 15% chance to remove a harmful effect, and then you max that out, guaranteed to remove that harmful effect, which will be nice. Right here, plus 5% bonus shield amount in Club Conquest. This team here seems that it is very much built for Club Conquest, which is one of two. There's a couple things that you can do with that. Obviously, you can build a really good defensive team for Club Conquest, and I think that's kind of really what this is for. You get the shield and everything for an offense character as well, so you have two parts there. I think the way that this character plays in Club Conquest really kind of gives you some latitude to mix and match some of these characters as well, because they're not necessarily tied to each other. Like Chunk isn't dependent on Big Baby, isn't dependent on Lotso, you know. So we'll go through the rest of them here really quick, but allows for some nice variety in mixing and matching your team. All right, so that is Chunk. Very interesting character, artwork and everything. The animation for him I think is very cool, so I'm loving that. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at Big Baby. Do not have this guy or girl or whoever unlocked, but he freaks me out. I mean, you open him up here and he spins his head around, and it freaks me out. All right, so his basic ability, deal damage to target opponent. As we level that up, we're going to do some additional damage. That's it, flat out damage. When we take a look at who he is, or she, or whoever, it's strictly offense, and I think you're going to find that with the kit. All right, next one right here. Damage to target opponent. Decrease speed meter of target opponent. If target opponent is affected by fear, then inflict stun for 1 turn. And then you can also, as you level this ability up, you're going to do some additional damage. So it's not dependent on Chuck's ability or Chunk's ability. It's dependent on fear. So a good pair up with Jack Skellington or any other character that that has a fear mechanic in their abilities. All right, and then let's go to Tantrum. You're going to do damage to target opponent and adjacent opponents, so some nice adjacent damage here as well. And damage is increased by 10% per opponent affected by fear. As you level this up, you're going to ignore 20% of the target's defense, and you're going to cause some additional damage. Very, very interesting fear mechanic here. And then this one right here, passive, Mama. On receiving damage, 30% chance to perform the following. You're going to restore some health, gain some offense. If Lotso is a teammate, so this guy is tied to Lotso, increases speed meter by 30%. In Club Conquest, duration of helpful effects gained to increase by 1. So very, very interesting there. I do like the fact that this is not a straight-up defensive team in Conquest. You can use this team defensively or offensively. And then we have Lotso here. He is the leader, and he's got a fun kit too. This guy is pretty cool looking. All right, so let's go ahead and see what he's all about. His basic damage, plus you can have a 50% chance to inflict fear. So again, more of the fear. Next one here, we're going to inflict fear for 1 turn and defense down for a turn on the target opponent and adjacent opponents. More of the spreading of the fear, right? Allied Big Baby will assist. 1 to 2 additional teammates will assist as well. As we level that up, then we're going to do +1 to defense down and +1 to maximum assisting from teammates. Very cool mechanic there. It doesn't specify it other than Big Baby, but it does specify also additional teammates. That allows you some more mixing and matching and trying some different combinations without having to rely on Big Baby and Chunk to be on the team. All right, we have this next one. This other special, restore some health to the 2 lowest teammates. If affected teammates have full health, then you're going to instead apply that continuous healing. Inflict taunt for 1 turn on the 2 lowest health opponents. And then as we level this up, we're going to 30% chance to inflict that taunt. And then you got a 20% and 25% health restored or continuous healing, which I think is pretty cool. So lots of healing from Lotso here. Another one right here, I'm a hugger. When this character is dealt damage, increase speed of each allied Toy Story villain by 10% and an additional 5% per opponent inflicted with fear. So this guy right here, we've seen him locked into Big Baby. Now we're seeing him locked into all of the Toy Story villains, which includes Zurg. Lost his name for a second. Which includes Zurg. And an additional 5% per opponent inflicted by fear. So Zurg would be good to pair up with this guy. On start of turn, perform the following. We're going to gain a copy of a random helpful effect from each adjacent Toy Story villain. And then villain teammate with the duration duration refresh. We're going to restore health to the 2 lowest teammates. So much stuff in here. I mean, he's not only a cool looking character that has some cool mechanics like fear and things like that, but he's really focused on keeping his team. If we take a look at his role here, he's a support, which really is what he's doing right here, right? And then in Club Conquest, grant defense up for 1 turn to affected teammates. And then, as you can see, as we level that up, if affected teammates is Toy Story villain, increase the health by 50% per helpful effect on this character, and then also 20 and 25% for the health restored and the continuous damage. So very good character, I think. And then if we take a look at his leader ability, Toy Story villains gain 20% maximum health in Club Conquest. So this team here, even though you can go ahead and mix and match them and use them in other game modes, really is focused on creating this downtown villain Toy Story Club Conquest team, which I think is pretty cool. Now, why, if I think these characters are cool and they've got cool kits, why isn't it a team that I'm really focused on getting right now? Because for me right now, Frozen team is really my focus to get that team complete before I really go on to another team. Next time Incredibles comes around, I'm going to be focusing on that as well. So I'm going to be gradually adding these new Toy Story villains to my roster and building them up. So I'm definitely going to go all in. I'm just not... I'm going to go the free-to-play route for this team. I think it's a great team. I think it's going to be a fun team to play. I love the fear mechanic, and we have these 3, so I am interested to see kind of how we might be able to incorporate some of the other characters in the roster that inflict fear or take advantage of fear or spread negative effects like Madam Mim. I think that would be an interesting one here. Spread that fear across the entire team. So there's some great opportunity here to mix and match and create some very cool teams. All right, I think I have rambled on enough about this team and the event. The event's very straightforward, things that we've seen already, and the characters I think are pretty cool. This team continually brings characters that we want to this game, so it really comes down to what is your focus, where are you in the game, what are you focused on right now, and where is your next project going to be? All right, everybody, that's what I had for you today. Very curious about your thoughts on this team and your thoughts on this event. Have you unlocked all of them? I've already seen some people with 7-star all of these, so it'd be interesting to see some of that gameplay and see what they come up with that, what kind of team compositions they have. All right, everybody, as always, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch the video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time.